first episode of Voces que Conectan, the podcast.
We're super excited because today's conversation is all about coming full cycle from being a student here at Manuel Arts to becoming a teacher at the very same school.
But before we dive in, vamos a introducirnos, ¿les parece? Mi nombre es Dana Trujillo,
And I am Malena Guevara.
and together somos sus presentadores for today's episode. Now vamos a conocer a nuestros invitados. Profes, will you introduce yourself?
My name is Professor DCAT.
My name is Edward Carranza.
Both of you started right here, caminando estos mismos pasillos, and now you are inspiring the next generation.
The first question is, what are some of your strongest memories from being a student here?
My strongest memories was really, already being a part of the band. Back in the day, the marching band, we had jazz bands, a lot of great music and fun. So that's kind of my memory.
For me, greatest memory. I'm thinking everything, but I will go with sports, soccer. The feel. Every time I see the feel, brings me memory. That they're strong. So I would say soccer was the feeling, and it's still the feeling.
Great. Did you ever imagine back then that you would return as teachers?
No, not at all. No, I was always into looking into the future, and I thought that I would just be traveling and doing music, and I wasn't really thinking about more school or becoming a teacher at all.
For me, at the start, I wasn't thinking of being a teacher, but then I think I'm gonna name these teachers, my ELD teachers, and especially I would say Mr. Alvarez and Miranda. They put that on me that hey, you could be one of us. So I'm here.
Did you like math?
If I like math, that's my strongest subject and my favorite subject. I know I teach Spanish, but yeah, math is what I guess is my heartbeat.
Nice.
Okay, who inspired you the most when you were a student?
When I was a student, I actually went to manual arts, but I went to Fauché as well. And I was into science and stuff like that too. So when I got here, I think the inspiration that I got from my middle school kind of gave me confidence as I got into high school.
My inspiration, if we go with uh, teachers, I will keep saying the same names. I guess I got too close to Mr. Miranda and Alvarez. I don't see them as a teacher now. I see them as a friends, and I still keep contact with them. So they're the one that put, I guess, this title to be, I guess, accomplished.
Ya, Mr. Álvarez nos motivó bastante. Creo que en lo personal también me motivó mucho estar con él. Now, let's talk about your path in music. You've achieved incredible things outside the classroom. TV programs and even collaborations with artists like Snoop Dogg. What has been the highlight of your career?
But the highlight of my career, really, so I dropped out of manual arts. I don't know if everybody knows my story, but I left manual arts. I was traveling. I went to France. I came back, and the principal was like, "Hey, can you tell the school how everything was?" So like I did something in the auditorium, which I was scared to death. I think the day after I left, it's like, okay, I'm just I'm gonna do my thing. And so when I came back, I moved to Europe and I started my family. And over there, when I turned on the TV, one of my friends here had the number one song in Europe. So I started traveling with them and working with them. So I stayed there for like 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And when I came back, I saw my kids go to college and start doing things. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. So I went back to school. I ended up getting my master's degree, but I was still working like with Snoop Dogg and Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know if you guys know names like George Clinton or like we represent songs like "Who Let the Dogs Out," stuff like that. So, and then I had the opportunity to come back to manual arts, and I was like, I definitely want to do that. So I think the highlight was the experience that I got brought me back so that I can share with everybody.
Great.
So, how does it feel to now share all the experience with your students?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's a real good time, in the world for,
Mhm.
to be sharing because things are changing fast. Technology is great.
Mhm.
So, I'm helping students to see that like the tools are better, even when, like you said, math, right? Like it's not just a calculator now. You have AI, you have a lot of things to kind of help show you how to do things, but you still have to think. Like you have to master these tools. So I think being able to share my knowledge from the music standpoint, there's a lot of digital tools, right? So like you don't have to learn how to play the guitar and play every instrument. You may just be a producer or like a DJ,
Mhm.
So like knowing how to use the tools is the most important thing. And I've worked with a lot of tools, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm
I've
excited
noticed
about
that.
that for the
Yeah.
kids.
What is one lesson from the music industry that you also bring into your classroom?
Oh, I think nowadays you guys have a lot of distractions.
Mhm.
So whatever you want to do, you got to focus on that like all the time. If it's something that you love, maybe it's art, what I'm saying, whatever you love doing, if it's soccer, you have to practice all the time. I think the sports coaches, they understand that, right? You practice every single day. Like when I was a drummer, playing, I played drums all day, every day.
Mhm.
So I think that's the main thing that I think that like the students have to figure out. Whatever they like, really focus on that. Don't let too many things distract you.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're also learning Spanish now. What inspired you to do that?
Oh man. So what's interesting is I have two Spanish family members.
Oh, really?
So my oldest daughter married a Mexican guy. He's actually one of the coaches with the LA Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
and my son married a girl from um, El Salvador.
Mhm.
I'm from El
So yeah,
Salvador, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I've always wanted to learn Spanish. Like I speak Danish, because
Mhm.
my wife is Danish. Ik ga snack dance, men ik verstår hvad jeg siger. But I'm still, learning Spanish. You guys go so fast, so if you slow down and teach me, I'm gonna learn Spanish for
But
sure.
you're in the perfect place to learn it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you use
yeah, why not?
AI to help you.
Oh man,
That's
all the
great.
time.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now vamos a indagar más en tu historia.
Okay.
You had to learn English as a migrant student, right? What was the hardest part of that journey?
Uh, Everything. But the first week, I will say, I will go back to that. I still remember. We had me sitting her 96, I think. She was treating us as, I guess, a mainstream student, never spoke Spanish to us. So the first week, I went home with a headache, thinking what I got into. But then I would say the speaking part was the hard part. The speaking part, the writing was coming, the understanding was coming, but being afraid of people making fun or making mistake was the hardest part. So that took some time.
También te entiendo porque I'm the immigrant as well, and my English is not good, and sometimes I just struggle when I speak.
But
But
it's gonna come along. Believe me. When I think you guys are in a better place than I was when I was a student. Uh, Working after high school got me into, I guess, practicing, and practice is always gonna be perfection.
Mhm.
thank you. Now that you are teaching Spanish, how do you use your own story to motivate a student who might be struggling?
You know what? I always wanted to come back to manual, not just for the teaching part, but for the sport. But I that's my point. I wanna let the students know that if I was able to make it, I know Alvarez used to tell us this. If I made it, you guys could do better. So now
Mhm.
that's my point too. If I made it, I want them to see that it's possible. It's possible.
Great. Si miras años atrás, is there a book, un poema, or even a teacher that made you fall in love with teaching Spanish?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, I have a lot of poems and all that, but I would say I had two Spanish teachers, and I know they're both gonna see this, so I'm not gonna mention names. But they're both came here as a student, my Spanish teacher, and I wanna get them to come and interview. But they both were an inspiration. And one is Miss Alina Hertz, and the other one Miranda Salvador. So I want them here with us.
Nice.
Sí, los vamos a esperar en un próximo episodio. Sí, claro que sí.
It's powerful. One of you is learning Spanish now, the other one learning English. Do you see part of yourself in each other's journey?
Oh wow,
That's a good
that's a
question.
good one. Okay, maybe we can help each other
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
even better.
Yes, and that's what I relate with the students that they're learning the language. I tell them if you don't practice, if you don't put yourself into it, I mean, just by by a book, you guys are not gonna learn it. You guys have to love it. You guys have to, I guess, desire it. And for me, I would say this is the language we need to speak, so it's easier. I I, I guess I would refer to DCAT. It's harder because he knows you guys are expected to learn the language, so he's easier on the learning. The next, I guess the Spanish. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I plan on by the end of the year, I want to really have some general Spanish in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a
Not
conversation
just
with
buenos dias, not just the small things.
you. Music and language are both ways of expression. How do you see them overlapping?
Music
Yeah, music
Music
and
and
language.
and
learning.
language, yeah. I mean, music is called the international language, right? So the way we feel, um, whether you're happy or sad, you can always remember the music at the time in your life. So like music speaks to our heart. Just like speaking Spanish is your home, language, right? That's the language of your heart. So I think music kind of matches that. And no matter what type of language we're speaking, if we're dancing or if we're sad, and you have that song that just makes you really really think of the ones you love or the ones you lost, So I think that's the power of music.
Um, so, and I guess I'm a pick on what he's saying, but I guess it's music and language. They're one at the end of the day, because the beeps that you guys create, it doesn't matter if it's gonna be in Chinese, Spanish, English, is the moment, right? So the moment, and if that beat is supposed to be in the moment, that's telling you something. I guess they go together.
Yeah, we all feel like the beat.
Very nice.
What advice would you give to students who are afraid of learning something completely new?
Wow, that's a good question. Not be afraid. I mean, we probably could say that because we've been through that, and we have experience. Like for example, when I came here, I remember he passed away. It was one of the PE teachers. He asked me if I could run for him because I was super fast. But for me, in sports, it was only soccer, so I made a mistake. So I didn't try. Now, as a teacher, I have done cross country, and I loved it. I think I won't say it's my favorite sport. It's my second favorite. So try it. Try it. Never say I can. Try it. You're gonna like it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, no, I totally agree. If you don't try something, you may regret it for a long time. So if it's something new, at least try it. Whether it's new foods, whether it's new, um, studies in your education. If it's something that you put your mind to, that's one incredible thing about everyone is like you can do whatever you want to do. So if it's something that you're interested in, don't be scared to try it. You got to go for it.
Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah. If you could send a message to your youngest student self sitting in the same school, what would it be?
Um, the other thing too, like there's two types of people too. Like there are ones that are entrepreneurs, the ones that want to be leaders, the ones that want to have their own business. That's a great thing. And then there's ones that actually, want to be be secure and have a nice job and everything. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? So I did that my whole life, and but I wish if I was talking to the younger DCAT, I would say go to school right away. You know, still do what you love with music. Like I saw my kids go to school. You know, USC, and they were only there for a few hours. They were partying. They were living at home, and when they graduated, then they got great jobs, making hundreds of thousands of dollars right away. I was like, wow. So a lot of times in your life, you have these ups and downs if you're taking risks. But if you can, you know, while you're young, taking as much knowledge as you can and do what you love. So I would say that to
Yeah, if I have to, I guess, give an advice to this new generation, I guess I will go with what Mr. Dikat said. School goes first. Then you're gonna have time to do what you love. Secure something because that's gonna give you, I guess, the life you want, and then pursue what you love. So don't stop. He mentioned how the children have gone to school and then have time to do something else. You do have the time, but you gotta put yourself into it and be responsible too. I would say chase that goal you wanna.
¿Cómo te gustaría que tus estudiantes se recordaran en el futuro?
Wow, that's a deep question. Honestly, I don't want them to remember me. I want them to know that I was part of their life by then succeeding, not me. I don't want to have anything to do, but I want to have a point where they succeed and they say, man, this teacher never had doubts of us. He knew we could do it. And that's always my dilemma. If I'm here, if you here, there's no excuses. I have done it. You guys could do it.
okay. Hey, Chad, I want you to translate this for me. For me, I want the students to remember that I see them all as rock stars. When I first came here, I thought I was just looking for the couple of rock stars, but now I see everybody as a rock star. So if they're out after they finish, just know that I'm someone who they can contact and remember all the things that they've learned and their experience in this manual arts life. Tell them, Chad.
Para mí, quiero que los estudiantes recuerden que los veo a todos como estrellas de rock. Cuando recién llegué aquí pensaba que solo estaba buscando un par de estrellas de rock, pero ahora veo que todos son estrellas de rock. Así que si ellos se van después de terminar, que sepan que soy alguien a quien pueden contactar y que recuerden todas las cosas que han aprendido y lo que han experimentado en esta vida de Manual Arts. Díselo, Chad.
And that's how I'm going to learn Spanish, guys, me and Chad.
Gracias. Seguramente los vamos a recordar. Van a quedar en un espacio muy especial en nuestro corazón. From students walking these same hallways to teachers giving back to artists achieving incredible things, ambos nos enseñan que la enseñanza nunca para en realidad.
Whatever is music, language, or life lesson, it is about connection, passion, y seguir adelante. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for listening.
Nos vemos en el próximo episodio. And remember, never stop learning and never stop dreaming.